Okay, APH. So just so you know, for those of you that are members, okay, so since, as you can see, APH is now moving pre-market, okay, to the upside because that's our earnings beat. QT 610 million versus 550. Expected rev 2.66 billion versus 2.47 billion. Okay, APH is Amphenol Corp. So Amphenol Corp was moving up pre-market. Okay, as we can see, beating this downtrend to the upside, no problem. Push, exhaustion, bullish engulfing candle. We likely will see price make its way to previous high at some point today. Okay, so we have a pre-market move to the upside. Okay. I'm going to be waiting for price to make its way back to the trend. Let's change that thickness. Boom, boom. Okay, so what do we have? We have lower lows. We have push, exhaustion, higher time frame, bullish engulfing candle. Price is now moving to the upside. We have our extension. Okay, this could be also wave 1, 2, 3. This could be our longest extension. However, I'm waiting for what will happen is we'll have a push to our mid-range area of sensitivity. So there is still some space there if you want to get in. As for me, I'm not in for the RR. The risk reward's not optimal at the moment. But once we see price reach mid-range zone, we'll see some sort of consolidation, contact with this uptrend again. We'll see push 5 to our previous high. Before then, we'll get into the ABC patterns. Okay, and then essentially what I'm trying to say is we will have exhaustion at mid-range. We're looking for entry back at this uptrend, at contact of the uptrend for a continuational move. Okay, now there is a possibility of price at market open. As you can see, this is a pre-market move. At open, we could just get a move straight to the previous high. Very strong possibility. All right. Okay. Okay. So that's APH. Gonna likely be moving to the upside. Let's add that to the watch list. Okay, as you know, the watch list gets every day. All right, I close it out. We make sure we add it again. All right, we go through all the pairs. Okay, watch list. We got APH. Okay, boom. What happened there? Okay. Okay, let's check out NSC. Okay. Norfolk Southern Corp. Okay, pre-market move to the upside. That's because of earnings beats. Okay, let's take a look at the monthly for a sec. All right, so we have extension. When you trade stocks, you have to be aware more so than with FX in terms of moving averages and mean reversal. So mean reversal strategies are very abundant, especially in the in equities market. So what does that mean? That means essentially when price is extended, when price makes an extended move, for example, of this kind. So price is clearly trading above its moving averages. So I don't use indicators, but if we were to see the moving averages, it would look something probably like this. Okay, just following, it's trading above. So what happens is when there's an extension, and it gets too extended, so overbought, okay, what happens is there's more sell pressure than buy pressure, because the more extended it gets, the less buyers there are and the more sellers there are, right? So that's why price moves to the downside. All the algos, artificial intelligence and algos now, okay, are moving to the downside. Bearish engulfing candle close on the monthly time frame, so that means downtrend. Okay, so here we have, let's see. All right, here's our downtrend. Obviously, there was an uptrend that has been broken to the downside, so we don't need to identify that. We have respect in terms of lower lows, okay? So here we have lower low respect. This could be a stop hunt. However, again, earnings beat. Q2 3.28 billion versus 2.94 expected. That's a relatively good beat. So we could have a situation where we have push at our next bullish engulfing candle. We'll see a move to the upside. Okay. However, again, due to the monthly time frame, it is extended. So this isn't going to be a max risk trade. Okay, and when we take it to the 1 hour, okay, so when we take it to the 1 hour, look, stop hunts are real. Okay, we've seen this in the past here with Norfolk, right? Buy pressure tested to the upside. Massive gap to the downside, okay, for a stop hunt. That's a market grab. Could be the same thing here. However, if we do get some really good price action confirmation, we're going to be looking to the upside on this just because the earnings beat. I mean, pre-market, we're moving to the upside too, but we don't know what the market's going to say here. Rider systems are. All right. R is also moving pre-market to the upside. Okay. All right. R is rider systems. Q2 report 2.40 versus 1.33. Revenue beat at 2.38B versus 2.22. So that beat expectations. We're looking at, yeah, Q2. I mean, the company's growing. They did $1 billion more Q2 than they did last year. Okay, so lower lows. Let's identify area sensitivity. Let's identify our zones. Boom, boom, boom. Here we have a downtrend, actually, our channel. Let's remove that. I keep doing Command C, Command V, like a copy and paste on Control C is okay, so that means Control V. On the MacBook. Right now I'm using the PC. All right. So as we can see, what do we see? We see a higher time frame channel here. Price made a move to the upside. As you can see, there's not much in terms of sell pressure, right? Price is making a move to the upside. We see sellers close their trade at previous highs. So anybody, what is that, right? That's take profits, limit orders, market orders, stop orders. So really this is a push and a minor exhaustion because price is seeing buy sensitivity from what was resistance at its downtrend to now support. Okay, the question is as we know, price is overbought, and the question is the earnings beat going to be enough to move price to the upside? Maybe. All right, maybe. So we take it to the weekly time frame. We're seeing this exhaustion. We're now seeing some buy pressure come in. If earnings didn't beat, I don't think we would be seeing buy pressure right now. Okay, so let's identify all channels. Okay, trends, boom, and then we have another one here. So what I believe is maybe there's a lower time frame, quick in, quick out on rider systems. Okay, so we got pre-market move to the upside. The market's likely reacting to the earnings beat. If we get a break of this move to the upside, maybe we'll look to our higher time frame downtrend to capitalize on this space right here. However, technically it's not looking the best. Jeffries reiterates Google buy target 315 from 2950. Jeffries is putting another $200 on this in terms of target to the upside. Let's go take a look at Google. Okay, well, so when we take it to the weekly time frame, okay, here we have our trend. We've identified, so price is now trading above its mean, right? So above its averages, okay, but it has for a while. So its averages are now somewhere around this nature. But the reality is what we're looking for here is some sort of extension from the mean. We have to identify, right? So we have price following this uptrend, move to the upside, not much in terms of sell pressure. Then we have a nice significant bullish close, okay? That's a push on the lower time frame. What's after a push? That's right, an exhaustion. So where's price likely going to find its next level of buy sensitivity? Well, price usually looks for support. Okay, so here's that bullish candle to the upside, okay, that we saw that was stronger than the usual, sending price a little bit more away from its averages. Here's that push, exhaustion. If we get a bearish engulfing candle close, so if we get a daily candle close of this nature, price will make its way back to this uptrend before then relooking to the upside. So in my opinion, we're a little early on Alphabet. I'm expecting some sort of consolidation or trend line before then another move to the upside, okay. Let me just answer some questions that we may have. Good morning, team. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay. All right. What's good player? Not sure what you mean. Reiterate, please. At Forex Guru. I always find it funny when someone calls himself a guru. Hey, at Forex Guru. Hi, Paris. All right. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. Every so often, I'll jump in, okay, and answer a question. Okay, team. All right. However, I appreciate you all joining us. Okay, this will be every day. All right. Alphabet, Google. We'll take it to FX shortly here. Okay. Wingstop. Earnings beat 0.38 compared to 0.34. Damn, do I love chicken wings. I don't know if any of you do, but I love salt and pepper. I love honey garlic. Those are my favorite chicken wings. Don't get me going though. They're so tasty. Boeing. Q2 rev is on par, exactly what expected. That's not going to move the stock too much. Okay, AMG reported 586 million versus 591 million. Okay, they are Q2 rev is down about $1 billion compared to last year. Let's check out AMG. Let's check out the meme stocks for a sec. No, it's not AMG. I mean, AMC, not AMG. My bad, team. This is AMG. Okay, revenue. I was going to say those numbers look low, 586. Anyways, let's check out the meme stocks, AMC. Strong move to the upside, as we know. Okay, one of the most... Okay, here we had another dump. All right, so... Here we had a push to the upside, okay, and what happened here was this was a stop punt, market grab, sellers, the big boys, the whales. So what happened here is this, okay, let's take it down to the 1H time frame. Okay, so you have the big boys who see that for the first time in a while, price is breaking this downtrend to the upside. So all the buyers here, and we entered here as well, we got out, we got out, okay, but what I'm trying to say is this. When price broke this downtrend to the upside, you had buy pressure come into come into play. You had all the breakout traders send price to the moon, right? So you had the breakout of the downtrend for the first time. Then Reddit starts to pick this up. Buyers start to enter the market, and you have an extension. Okay, but again, this is an extension from the mean. It's overbought. So at this point, once it's extended, you have at this point more sellers than you do buyers at the top. So at this point, we identify, okay, potential uptrend. Okay, that breaks this initial uptrend, breaks the next potential uptrend to the downside. So at this point, right here, and we'll bring this in down to the 15-minute time frame. At this point right here, we have a situation where price failed to break its lower time frame downtrend to the upside. And this is what we call price action confirmation. So if there was enough buy pressure at completion of exhaustion, and there should be technically, right? Because we have a push breaking our daily zone to the upside, exhaustion. So if there is going to be buy pressure anywhere, it's going to be here. There's going to be buy sensitivity that enters the market. Price action would confirm that in a continuational move. We failed to see that. So what happens here is that sellers end up sending it. So the big movers, the big money players that can move the market, okay, adjust price action as well. They break this to the downside. This was a market grab. So at this bearish engulfing candle, you know that price is coming to the downside for the mean reversal. Okay, so essentially push, coming back for exhaustion. Once it breaks, so failure of price action confirmation to the downside tells us it's a stop hunt. And that's why, especially with FX, we always enter at completion of exhaustion. Okay, because if price is breaking a downtrend to the upside, for example, that's a push. We wait for exhaustion, price action confirmation before continuational push. So we avoid stop hunts. AMC is no different. Okay, let's now take it to the 1 hour time frame. Got to get used to this PC mouse. Okay. So let's remove these lines here. Actually, we can identify. Okay, so we have a little bit of uptrend here. Okay. Let's see, price could be respecting this. It may be not. In my opinion, I don't think so. We have some sort of wedge, all right, on AMC. So two scenarios are going to happen here. We're either going to see price make a move to the downside, we're going to see price make a move to the upside, then potential stop hunt back to the downside, or price makes its move. However, okay, the way things are right now, in my opinion, price action here is not strong enough at what should be this uptrend. It's not strong enough. I think we will see a move to the downside. We're also seeing lower lows, right? Okay, so we have sell pressure coming in earlier than expected, less buy pressure at the uptrend. Thus, in my opinion, I think we're going to see a move back to the downside here on AMC. Okay, so we're moving on to GameStop. GameStop, not stock. All right, monthly time frame, strong move to the upside, price failing to break previous high. It always will, okay? Rule number one with GameStop, let's remove these trend lines. Rule number one with GameStop, if you are lucky enough to ride the wave to the upside, you're never holding above previous high, ever, okay? Ever. Okay, this isn't a company that's worth even where it's at per share, never mind a previous high, okay? So there is no reason to hold above because this is not a value buy. You're looking to ride the wave. All right, so downtrend, price breaking to the upside. Let's see if there's anything on the weekly. Yeah, there is. There is some weekly uptrend here. Price broke that to the downside. I'm a Mac guy. I'm getting used to this PC. Give me a little bit of a breath. Okay, boom, boom. We have an uptrend, price broke that to the downside as expected, correct? Okay, so we had sell pressure, sell pressure, sell pressure. We had higher highs, okay? And what happened was it got to the point where it was like, okay, well, buyers are like, all right, well, at this point, it's either, if we're going up, we're only going up to previous high. We have 3 levels of sell pressure here, significant pin bar, bearish engulfing candle close, and boom, price sell pressure took control, broke this uptrend to the downside. Okay, let's now take it to the daily. All right, so now we're seeing price break this daily downtrend to the upside for the first time. So this really comes down to price action, right? Is this going to be a push, exhaustion, continuational push? That's a question. Push, exhaustion, and now you're looking for price action, entry confirmation for a continuational move to the upside. Let's take a look at. We'll take it to FX here in a minute. China government convened meeting today with banks to aim restore calm following market losses after crackdown on education industries. Listen, China is the modern day version of communism. North Korea is the old version of communism, okay, amongst other countries in this world. They're not the only two. As the Chinese government, as long as they have their hands in things, it's a little bit dangerous, okay? So here's the thing, and the reason why I say this is not you know, I love Chinese people, I have Chinese friends, nothing against them, okay? Every country has their shit. The thing is China, for example, Alibaba, companies like that, Neo, companies like that, as much as I want to invest, especially like Neo, which I do have invested, I actually do own Neo stock, but that's early stocks, okay? The thing is that I'm afraid because of the government for exactly that reason. Like, look at Jack Ma, the CEO of Alibaba. You know, he's on every interview, on every this, on every that. Suddenly the government knocks on his door and he goes missing. And he's not missing. People know he's alive and well, but, you know, they obviously told him, you know, keep talking, keep doing interviews, you'll see what happened. Obviously there was some sort of scare. You know, the reality is it is not a free market. It is not. It's not like, it is just not. Okay. So as far as investing in Chinese stocks, I'm a little bit hesitant for that reason. Okay. So FDA to, okay, let's look at some of the movers here. Okay. We got ABO, AB, EO. Okay, we had a move to the upside. Why? We had a strong move to the upside of 7.2% because they announced successful Type B meeting with US FDA, ABO 102 AAV. Okay, we have 6 at a positive 6%. Let's do that. We have SIX. Okay, Six Flags Entertainment at a positive 6%, probably announcing some growth. However, I don't think that this is a buy. We have the new Delta variant coming in. We have, not coming in, we have the Delta variant. We have this other variant that's apparently much more deadly. Okay, we have a big gap to the upside on 6 because of earnings. Okay, Six Flags beat earnings, but that's because Six Flags was open. Things may close now, so we have to be careful to the upside on that. XOMA. Oh, this could be a good. Oh, I mean, we have a gap to the upside already. Take a look where price is trading. Take a look at this gap to the upside. All right, nothing at the moment. Okay, because we can't be trading that gap. Okay, we got 5.6% increase. Pre-market, US FDA grants orphan drug designation to license. Okay. Teladoc is moving to the downside, down on earnings. We're seeing, Teladoc may be a good buy actually at previous low. We'll see. Okay, so obviously Teladoc, for those that you don't know, a company online Doctors, okay, it was super, super important during COVID. As you can see, price shot to the upside along with Zoom and along with Skype and all these other online platforms that people relied on. But price, after we had the opening, price has been moving to the downside, and rightfully so. Here's my thing on Teladoc. I think unless I think Zoom changed things. I think people that never used Zoom before will continue to use Zoom even when COVID is fine and things are back to normal. Zoom is one of those technologies where you take in and it kind of stays. Okay, with Teladoc, I think people, unless they live in remote areas, I think people want to go see their doctor in person rather than have an online phone convo with some random guy that you don't know or girl. I don't think Teladoc is worth it. The only way I'm going to enter Teladoc actually, okay, is I think we're going to see a channel, by the way, here to the downside now. Okay, I think price is going to begin its channel and downtrend to the downside. I think Teladoc, the only way Teladoc is going to find its way back to its previous highs-ish is going to be if there's another lockdown, if there's another variant that comes out that's giving it a situation. Wingstop met guidance at earnings, so it's moving to the downside. Here's the thing, you have to beat earnings, right? You have to beat the guidance, you have to do better than expected, or else you're moving to the downside. US CDC noted that due to rapid spread of the Delta variant, vaccine areas, lockdown in Sydney to be extended by 4 weeks through August 28th as expected. Japan potential coronavirus state of emergency. So here's the thing, right? What happens when this becomes serious? Is when the lockdowns happen again. We'll have safe havens, right? We'll have safe havens increase. Okay, so let's go through a couple of the questions. Raman's asking for pound USD. We will get to that. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Let's see if there's any questions. NAS, okay, pound yen, pound USD. Okay, we'll go through all these. We're gonna go through this. We're gonna go through FX right now. Okay. All right. All right, Kiwi USD, as you all know, team. For those of you that are paid members, we are currently in this trade to the downside. Let's take it to the daily, to the 4H and 1H. Okay. So as you know, we reached TP1. We're now on our way to TP2, okay? And you should move SL to entry after TP1 was reached, okay? Always, all right? Really good trade. Let me run through this for all of you. This was a very high probability trade, all right? And let's talk about why. Okay, so monthly upper, monthly lower, weekly upper, weekly lower, daily mid-range zone. We see a strong push to the upside. We know that sell pressure is going to come in where? It's going to come in at our monthly zone. We know that our monthly zone is a significant area of sell pressure no matter what, even if fundamentals were to the upside. So let's say New Zealand was stronger than the USD at the point, which it was once it made a push. It doesn't matter at that point. It doesn't matter. There's just too much sell pressure, too much in terms of order swapping. So for example, buy orders will convert to sell orders. Any take profits were exited. Any SLs were hit. Any limit orders were entered. Stop orders were entered. It's a situation whereby this is not an area, no matter what, in terms of strength, you're not going to break to the upside. Okay, the monthly is a significant respected zone. Okay, which is why we have our zones in different colors. So I know the monthly is most respected, the weekly in yellow is the second most respected. Okay, so we have first contact impulse move. What is that? That's market reaction, right? Limit orders, stop orders, entries, all that stuff. Market reaction, which we call impulse move, retest, and a second injection of sell pressure coming in at previous high. Okay, so now we have a double top. Okay, then what happens? We have a push to the downside, breaking previous low. Okay, what's after a push to the downside? Exhaustion to the upside. So our weekly upper zone, which was resistance, is now which was support, okay, is now becoming resistance. All right, so now let's take it to the daily time frame and take a closer look. All right, so here we have what? Push, exhaustion, price making a move to the downside, bullish engulfing candle, anybody looking for the upside, sell pressure came in, right? Resistance at our weekly area, significance, and created a new lower low. So at this point, after this lower low right here, okay, we now know that we have a trend line to the downside. Lower low, lower low, lower low. Here we see lower low, we see respect, okay, not only also at our 4H upper zone, not only at our downtrend, we have a bearish engulfing candle close. So at this point I know, okay, price has got free range to previous low. Okay, where's our final target? Previous low. Why? Because this is where price will find buy pressure, potentially come back, make another contact with this downtrend before potential move to the downside or back to the upside. Okay, but the most important thing that told me that this will be a high probability move to the downside, not a certain move, nothing is certain, but this bearish engulfing candle off not only this downtrend creating another lower low, but also sell pressure at what is its 4H uptrend, okay? Upper zone, I should say, not uptrend. All right, so when we take it to the 4-hour time frame, there's two scenarios. Price does two things, okay, when there's a lot of strength. So in this case, we have a push to the downside and not much in terms of an exhaustion to the upside. We do see some sort of exhaustion to our 38, this was at our 38.2% fib before a continuational move. But here's the thing, exhaustions tell us a lot. If price makes a push, in this case to the downside, and fails to come back for a full complete exhaustion, that would be to like its 61.8% fib, for example, or identified area sensitivity. Okay, if price fails to do that, it tells us that there's a lot of sell pressure keeping price to the downside. And whenever there's a lot of sell pressure at completion of a push, price goes into what's called consolidation. So in this case, we have a push, price comes back for exhaustion, sell pressure says, no, 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 we're continuing pushing you back to the downside. Buy pressure says, no, 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 we want to go back to the upside. The push is done. Sell pressure says, no, 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 back. And then there's a consolidation before then a move to the downside instead of an exhaustion. And this is what happens. You have a push, you have lower time frame consolidation, that sell pressure saying, no, 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 we're not coming back for full completion of exhaustion. We're pushing you to the downside. Buy pressure's trying to come back for exhaustion and fails to do so and then move to the downside. So we'll take a look at that consolidation. Okay, 1H, not 2H. All right, so when we take it to the 1H, this is exactly what we see. Okay, strong push to the downside, prices going into consolidation, sell pressure protecting the upside, buy pressure protecting the downside. What do we know? What is the probability? Where is price moving? That's right, to the downside. Why? Because we're taking into account our higher time frame analysis. What is price on the higher time frame doing? Respecting the lower lows, so downtrend. We have a bearish engulfing candle off area sensitivity. We know fundamentals are not looking too strong for the Kiwi. So where are we going? We're moving to the downside. Okay, so price is about to reach TP2. Okay, mine was probably a 0.1 of a pip away from reaching TP2, but it will make its way down there. What am I doing? So right now SL is at entry on the live account. What am I doing after that? I'll be moving SL to TP1. Okay, we'll move SL to TP1. We'll play with house money. Okay, so trade will look like this now. Our SL will be down to TP1. Okay. All right, so Kiwi USD, that's why we were in the trade. All right, moving in. CAD Swiss franc next. All right, let's remove these. Okay, consolidation, CAD Swiss franc. We've seen some really nice consolidation on this pair. On the higher time frame, this is the best example of higher time frame consolidation we have. Horizontal sell pressure, horizontal buy pressure, clearly our monthly upper, monthly lower. So what is this? What happened here? What is this happening? This is COVID, right? We're on the monthly time frame. Each candle closes one single month period of time. Okay, so this is quite a distance of time, right? Almost 2 years. Now, what happened? This is CAD versus Swiss franc. Now, why did we see such a move to the downside? This is CAD, which is a safe haven. Okay, sorry, not a safe haven. CAD is the opposite of a safe haven. Swiss franc is a safe haven. CAD is very much the opposite. CAD is correlated to the price of crude. The Canadian dollar, Canada is a net exporter, positive net exporter of crude oil by a significant amount. So when crude oil collapsed because of COVID, when the world went into lockdown, the demand for crude oil essentially collapsed, which means the price of crude oil collapsed. Simple economics, right? Supply demand. All right. We had a collapse in the Canadian dollar, breaking area sensitivity, significant. We had government intervention. Okay, for those of you that don't know, governments do intervene if price is getting too weak or too strong. It's not good for a country to have a currency that's too weak. It's not good for a country to have a currency that's too strong. You may ask yourself, why is that? If a country's currency is too strong, it's too expensive for other countries to make investments, to invest in, for example, if China's currency gets to a point where it's too strong, it will become too expensive for companies to then create and manufacture products in China. If the Chinese currency is too weak, yes, it's great for investments to come in, but of course that's not great for China, of course, and the value of the currency and what their buying power is around the world. So they won't have enough buying power when their currency devalues. So what happens is when price collapses here, right, and there's no historical data, all right, as you can see, price made its way down to the 0.66 level, okay? We have government intervention, and this doesn't necessarily mean just Canadian government intervention. This could mean also other countries were intervening, other central banks were intervening, okay? And the reason is because there's a game that countries play. It's called debt. Okay, it's too much debt's no good, too little debt's also no good. But debt is important because then other countries have vested interest. So for example, if I loan you money, I want to make sure you still have money so I get paid back, right? That's important, getting paid back. It's something you should always look forward to when you invest money. But if you have no money, you have nothing to pay me back. So debt is actually strategic play, so that other countries have vested interest that your currency does not devalue too much, because it is also not in their interest that that happens because you hold their debt. Okay, so anyways, CAD Swiss franc, we see price coming back, breaking its monthly to the upside. Okay, that's when COVID started to ease, vaccines started to come out. Okay, people became optimistic, the demand for oil started to increase, but now we're starting to see double top. We have a bearish engulfing candle, impulse, retest, bearish engulfing candle. We're seeing another move to the downside. Price made contact with its zone. We had limit orders. We had take profits being hit. There was an overflow of buy pressure compared to sell pressure at this level. And to be honest with you, no matter what, if price makes its way back to previous low again, I'm also looking for a BLO, okay, for quick ins, quick outs. That's due to sensitivity. All right. So as we take it now to the daily time frame. All right, this is Kiwi USD. Why are we back on Kiwi USD? We have to be CAD Swiss franc. Doesn't matter, same thing here. Okay, there we go. It must have moved me to Kiwi USD, but we are on CAD Swiss franc. Okay, so on to the daily CAD Swiss franc. All right, so what are we looking at here in terms of sensitivity? What are we seeing here? Double top. Okay, we can identify lower time frame zone here. Okay. Control C and then Control V that baby. All right. We have mid-range zone, lower zone. Okay. So just horizontal buy and sell sensitivity. All right. So what do we see here? Again, strong move to the upside, push, exhaustion, continuational push. Now, price could have made a potential continuational move here if there wasn't this Delta variant scare. I think price would have. If this if there was no other variants and we were dealing with the same COVID, we would have seen a move to the upside. The fact is, though, is there will be a limit to what the demand for crude oil will be at, and the strength of the Canadian dollar as long as there's these new variants. Okay, so I think we found our top. All right, now price made a strong move to the downside after we had the double top. Okay, technical traders, sell pressure came in. All right, we have contact with area sensitivity, buy sensitivity came in, impulse to the upside. The question now becomes is, are we going to break this lower zone back to the downside? And if we do, we're coming back for double confirmation. All right, so again, let's take a look. Push, exhaustion. We have a downtrend here. Price is either going to do two things. It's going to break and move to the upside. It's going to break, stop hunt back to the downside. So what we're going to look for, CAD Swiss franc, is a move, continuation of the downside to previous low. I'm looking to capitalize here, or I'm looking to capitalize here, but we need to see, it's too early. We need to see confirmation. Okay, and we just don't have that on CAD Swiss franc. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit more at my pace. We got a lot of pairs to go through. Okay, all right. Aussie USD to the downside, testing its daily zone. Okay. Again, we have multiple levels of sell pressure. Take a look at how many pin bars there are here, right? Pin, 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 bearish engulfing candle. What do you expect? Sell pressure to the downside. We're now reaching daily zone. There was some sensitivity to the upside, as you can see. There is some sensitivity, but sell pressure not having much of it. If price breaks previous low, okay, I'm waiting for exhaustion. And then maybe even a sell limit order for quick in, quick out for strat 2, or price action confirmation for strat 1. All right. Monthly time frame. Okay, bullish engulfing candle. All right, so here what do we see? We have a bullish engulfing candle to our weekly. That's a great place for exhaustion to begin. That's exactly what we have. All right. Bearish engulfing candle. We're having a move to the upside here. Okay, let's take a look. 4H. All right, I think this is Jake's analysis. Okay, sell limit order will change. All right, so yeah, I want to review this analysis. I'm not sure after that bullish engulfing. Question is price going to make its wave down? I mean, what's the impulse like? Let's take a look at the fib. So the question is, right, so when you ever have a question like, okay, price makes an extension, so a push, and where is the exhaustion begins, where is it going to change direction? So the highest probabilities are identified area sensitivity, but also we have to look at the fib, right? Okay, from left to right. Okay. I'm gonna make sure this isn't a sell limit order. Okay. Or is this me? My bad. This was my sell limit order. Not Jake's. Okay. I thought it was Jake's because usually I put an @ sign. However, this is my sell limit order. So I make an adjustment here. We're going to remove the S sell limit order. Okay, this is going to be price action confirmation. Okay, so no longer sell limit order. TP1 will stay the same. Okay, I do believe we're now going to make our way above this zone, make contact with the downtrend. Okay, let's take it to the 4H level. Okay. All right. So no longer sell limit order. We're looking for price action to make its way to this downtrend. We're looking for price action entry confirmation to the downside. No SLO anymore. We're changing that. All right. Delete that. All right. Another clear stop hunt, okay, on the lower time frame. Monthly time frame, as you can see, price is following a channel. All right, when we take it to the daily here, what do we see? We see what is a wedge, okay? And at this point here, you know there's a stop hunt, and I'll tell you. Okay, so the reason why we wait for entry at completion of exhaustion is for this exact reason. Here we have lower lows. Here we have higher highs. Okay, we have a push to the upside. We have a bearish engulfing candle. At this point, the strength of exhaustion tells you a lot. When we have a bearish engulfing candle at this point, I kind of know that we already are going to have a stop hunt. Okay, boom, stop hunt. Price is moving to the downside. We'll continue to the downside, and that's what we expected. Okay, so the question is now for entry is, are we going to see exhaustion before continuation will move to the downside? Let's take a look here. Let's add area sensitivity. Okay, 1H. All right, so the question is if it breaks previous low, we're waiting for push, exhaustion, continuational push. Okay, team, so you'll get an analysis on this. Team FXG. All right, targets, with targets, I should say. All right, another wedge / respect from our weekly upper, weekly lower. Take it to the weekly time frame. Price still has ways to go. Okay, so it's either going to see protection at its weekly, it's going to break its weekly to its trend line, or it's going to consolidate here. Okay. As far as any entry right now, though, I'm not into it. Okay. Euro Swiss franc, we're seeing that push to the downside. We're seeing price make its way to the bottom of the channel. Okay, so this one we're looking for an entry to the upside, and you may be saying, David, how are you looking for an entry to the upside when there is such a trend line to the downside? Well, the reality is because of buy pressure. Okay, take a look at the buy pressure that we're about to encounter. Now, the reason is this, okay? Not only is price testing its weekly zone, price is also oversold, okay? Because the moving averages are trading above, okay? And also, we know that price is reaching buy pressure from its weekly zone. At some point, we're going to see some buy pressure kick in, even just for an impulse move to the upside. All right, so how do we know when we're looking for an entry to the upside? We know we're looking for an entry to the upside when we see price break here. So we actually have a descending triangle, descending wedge, whatever the fuck you want to call it, downtrend. It doesn't matter. What we're waiting for here is push, exhaustion, and a move to like previous high. We're not looking for such a long move to, for example, the upper part of the channel. We're looking for quick in, quick outs here. Euro Swiss franc. This will be on the watch list. Okay, we're changing that to green. All right, boom, Euro USD. Move to the downside. There was a failure of entry here on Euro USD. As you can see, we have push, exhaustion, failure of price action and entry confirmation. Thus, we did not have an entry to the upside on this one. All right, again, double top now. We know we're going to make our way to the downside. So, Euro USD, I'm very much looking for an entry now to previous low. We're looking to capitalize on this space right here. We need price to break this very weak uptrend to the downside. We see a stop hunt, so in my opinion, we will. Okay, for those of you that work and can't be on the charts, a sell stop order beneath the previous candle will do you good. Okay, now it's just about finding entry on Euro USD, so we will change this to green. All right, so if Euro USD on the daily closes as a bearish engulfing candle, it's a very high probability move to the downside. But we do not want to enter to the downside just yet. Let's remove all this guard. We don't need any of this anymore. Okay? It's not good to enter the downside just yet because what? Price will see buy pressure where? That's right, previous low. So price will make its way here and there will be a battle here. We're looking for push, breaking, exhaustion, even a sell limit order depending on how price moves, depending on if there's a daily close. That might even be acceptable. Euro USD, we're going to capitalize on this bad boy to the downside. All right. USD Cad. All right, so the CAD fundamentally is going to see some pressure to the downside, in my opinion. We have this new variant, the Delta. We have another variant, the Boeing, whatever the hell it's called. Okay, it does. I don't know, Sunwing or whatever they want to call it. But the reality is as long as there's some fear in the market that there's going to be lockdowns, that the economy will slow down, the Canadian dollar will find weakness. Okay, so we have to remember that we're going to likely see weakness in the CAD. Okay, so when we take it to the weekly time frame, we see price off its monthly lower, making its way to its monthly mid. We see sell pressure off its monthly mid. However, we see this respected uptrend, correct? Take a look at this, right? Sorry. All right, higher highs, bullish engulfing candle. All right, so we had contact off our monthly zone. What is this? What do we call this, team? That's right, we call it consolidation. Impulse to the downside, not consolidation, excuse me. Take profits, SLs, limit orders, market orders, okay, reaction to area sensitivity, boom. Impulse to the downside, consolidation, battle with buy pressure, right? There's a battle between sellers and buy pressure at this uptrend, bullish engulfing candle, potential double confirmation before what? A move to the downside. But I will tell you something. When price, because it doesn't happen that often, and when you miss it, it sucks balls. But when price makes its way to its monthly zone, there's a really good opportunity for limit orders with the tight TP, with the tight SL, which means that your value per pip is extremely high. So when price makes it to previous high, I can tell you that I'm going to have a sell limit order with the tight stop, and we will make our way to the downside. Okay, so anyways, we can see a bullish engulfing candle close. That's a daily bullish engulfing candle close. Are we in the clear yet? No, we're not in the clear just yet. And the reason why we're not in the clear just yet is because price actually hasn't even broke consolidation yet to the upside. And the reason why is because, well, sell pressure from our daily. Sellers want this to happen, right? Push, consolidation like we spoke about, and then a continuational push. But buy pressure is coming in because of respect from this uptrend. However, we're not in the clear yet. So what are we waiting for? That's right, push, exhaustion, continuational push. Or we're going to see a move to the downside here where then we're going to wait, push, exhaustion, continuational push. Now, the reason why I'm hesitant for a move to the downside is because that would require Canadian dollar strength. I don't necessarily think the Canadian dollar will have that strength. In my opinion, I'm very much looking to the upside. If you are someone who works, you can place a buy stop above previous high. All right, Team FXG, you're going to get analysis on this pair. All right, we're going to turn that to green as well. Make sure it's on the watch list, okay? Monthly time frame. Let's actually go through a couple questions here. Fuck. My screen, I forgot to share my screen. That's totally my bad, team. Let me keep this up now. All right, there we go. All right, we'll do Euro Swiss franc quickly. We'll do the pairs that we're interested in. All right, Euro Swiss franc, for those, the team, I forgot to share my screen, I apologize. Okay, we have a move to the upside monthly, we have a move to the downside. Okay, at our weekly we have what? Extension. Now the thing is though, and the reason why we're interested in a quick in quick out here again, is we have channel. Okay, as you can see, price is reaching the bottom of the channel. Not only that, it's reaching buy pressure from the weekly. Okay, so at some point we will see buy pressure. It's very rare when price is also oversold at this point, reaching area sensitivity. It's rare that we're going to see a break, a clear break, without some sort of impulse to the upside before move to the downside. So as we go to the daily time frame, we see here that we have lower lows and a descending wedge. So what we're waiting for here is some sort of price action confirmation, like a bullish engulfing candle, significant pin, so that we know that we're making our way to previous high. All right. Euro USD. All right. Double top. Okay, sell pressure off our monthly. Price is now making it to this very minor higher highs. As you can see, we have higher highs. What do we know though? Price respects zones more than it does trend lines. So in my opinion, what's happening here, and we'll see with price action team, is that there's not enough buy pressure. If there was buy pressure at this higher high, we would have seen some more reaction. Take a look at the reaction off these levels. Okay, strong. In this case, we have sell pressure coming in protect. I think we're going to break this level and make our way to previous low. So we're looking to capitalize on this level. Okay. USD Cad. All right, we have buy pressure off our monthly lower, reaching our monthly upper, significant bearish engulfing pin bar close. Okay. What do we see though? We have respect off this uptrend, correct? We have higher highs. Okay, we have a bullish engulfing candle off this higher high, but we are not in the clear yet. And the reason why we are not in the clear yet is because price is yet to break its consolidation range. All right, so we have horizontal sell pressure, horizontal buy pressure. We have yet to break consolidation, even though we do have a bullish engulfing candle close on the daily. We need to see a push, exhaustion, continuational move. The chances are we're moving to the upside. Well, first off, I wouldn't necessarily be looking for an entry to the downside. If we do see something like this, I believe it will be a stop hunt. The reason being, again, is because the Canadian dollar is going to see weakness. For price to move to the downside, the Canadian dollar needs to strengthen. And I don't think that's going to happen with the potential variance coming out. So, team, you're going to get an analysis, okay, on this pair. USD Cad, push, exhaustion, continuational push. All right. Sorry about that in terms of the screen. I apologize. Okay, let's take we'll do a few more analysis here before answering questions. All right. Let's bring this in. Don't need that right now. Monthly time frame. What are we seeing, team? Sell pressure. Sell pressure. This is an area of significant sell pressure. Buy pressure needs to have fundamental support, which we call air support, before break to the upside, correct? So, first contact, impulse, retest, second injection of sell pressure. Price failing, though, to break beneath area of sensitivity. That's because, in general, pound is having more fundamental support, meaning strength against the USD. Okay. We have this channel that was broken to the downside as we expected. Okay, we're now waiting for a higher time frame exhaustion. Here's push. We're waiting for exhaustion, continuational move. All right, let's take it to the 4H time frame. Okay, now team, I may even be placing a buy limit order here. Actually, that's a signal right now that's going to be sent out, because that could move. So I'm doing the analysis for the team. This is this one could make its way to our BLO level as we're during the live session. So I need to do this right now. Okay. I need a 1 to 2 RR. Okay, we got a 1 to 2.4 RR. We're gonna have SL 50% of the way, where price is finding some pressure right now. Okay, if you want to see targets and everything, feel free. You can join the Forex Gentleman community by going to Gentleman Markets community. No longer Forex Gentleman, because we trade more than just Forex. You can go to gentlemanmarkets.com. Okay, push exhaustion. We are now looking for BLO. Boom. Team FXG, those of you watching the live, you're going to have this in your box here shortly. Okay, TP1's looking good. 1 to 1 RR to SL. Let's see, boom. Price labels, boom. Boom. Boom, and then one more boom. Boom. Okay. Okay. Great. All right, we're almost there. Just labeling everything for the team. Okay, I started, as you all know, especially, I mean, those of you that are members, I'm labeling now everything on these signals. And the reason is because some of you don't have, especially those of you in South Africa and other places in Africa, you don't have a great internet connection. Higher, okay. Okay, well, below. Yellow at 1.38 27298. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now I just need to post it. Okay. And then I'll be back to the in the comment box, because I'll get to that in a minute here. In the comment box, why don't you all let me know, like, what is your favorite pairs to trade? Okay. Boom, boom, and boom. All right. Done. There it is. Touch me, take me, okay. I don't want to care, but you don't really care about us. Sometimes I get some Michael Jackson songs stuck in my head. What an artist he was. Hey, he changed music. A little bit of a creep, but he was an amazing artist. Take me, break me, everybody. GP1. Now, being a creep is especially to children, is never an excuse, but you got to you got to admit that growing up like him, though, right? Because he was in the Jackson 5 with his family, he had an abusive father. We would all end up a little bit fucked up, to be honest with you. Even a lot of us, even with great families, end up a little bit fucked up. Done. Okay, team. Under the FX Signals channel. Break me, everybody take me. Okay, whatever, breakout, retest, break, correct. All right, let's answer the questions that we may have. All right. Take me. Any questions? If you have any questions, feel free to respond. Feel free to ask, I should say. All right, not much. Let's take it. I don't really care. You don't really care about us. All right. Now, let me just place my BLO. All right. Take me, pick me, everybody hate me. I don't really care, but you don't really care about us. All right, placing my limit order on this pair. Boom. Done. BLO placed. Okay. Usd Cad. Okay, strong move to the downside, strong pins at all points. Sell pressure will make its way to previous low. Okay, I believe price action right now is not looking sexy, but it will make its way to test this uptrend to the downside. Euro Aussie. All right, so let's talk here about like, where does price change direction? Price changes direction where? Price changes direction when you have a situation where buy pressure meets sell pressure at zones, at trend lines, areas, sensitivity. Okay, and usually there's no change in direction until there's a battle. The way I look at it, and the team knows, the way I look at zones is like literally a battlefield. Like back in the day during Vikings or during the Revolution, where they would just stand on at a line and run at each other. You know what I mean? That's what zones are. That's what sensitivity is to me. And who has a fundamental bias will usually win. Now, here on Euro Aussie, okay, we can see that there's buy pressure off our monthly. That's expected. And then we have a nice bullish close off of our lower time frame uptrend. Now, where is price? So let's think about it this way, actually, before I confuse you all. So this is an army of buyers, correct? This is an army of buyers fueled not only fundamentally, because the euro is stronger than the Aussie right now fundamentally, but also due to technical support from our monthly zone. So the question becomes is, where is this army of buyers going to find its next army of sellers? Where's its next big battle? It's going to be at its weekly. Is there going to be lower time frame sensitivity, like 1 hour, 15-minute zones and stuff? Of course. But buy pressure has a lot more power to break those sellers on those levels. We're talking about we need an area of significant respect. So in my opinion, due to this candle close, okay, telling us that price did not come back, isn't coming back for an impulse, we have free range until our weekly, meaning that this is very high probability range to make our way. We're on the monthly time frame, so there's still opportunity there, right? So the question becomes is, are we making our way up? The question becomes is, are we making our way up after previous high, or is this going to be a double top before a retest of the downtrend and then a move to the upside? Okay, so this is not an entry where we're looking for limit orders. This is definitely an entry where we're looking for confirmation, because even if price was to break previous high with a push, very possible stop hunt to the downside. Because the thing is price is trading above its averages, above its mean. Okay, price likes to make pushes, likes to make its moves off of area sensitivity. So I would like to see price make its way down to the trend line before move to the upside. It is possible we see this, but either way, we need price action confirmation. If we see a push, exhaustion, we need price action confirmation to confirm no stop hunt. If we see a stop hunt, or if price just makes its way down at double top, we're looking at entry at this uptrend to the upside. Okay, Euro Aussie, moving on. Okay, Euro Kiwi. Maybe a below. Okay, Euro Kiwi is finding buy pressure off of its monthly zone, finding sensitivity now at its daily mid-range, okay? We're seeing another test to the upside, okay? Question is are we going to see that sell pressure again for an impulse to the downside? Probably will, yes, especially since we're getting into the lower volume period of market hours. There will be sell pressure at this level. You may have a good strategy too for quick in, quick out, grab 10, 15 pips before you close a trade. Okay, however, I believe we have higher highs here as well. So I do believe we're going to have a situation where it starts going into a ascending wedge, okay? Keep an eye on that one. Actually, we'll keep it green. Pound CAD, okay, we're seeing a push breaking previous high, strong push to the upside, 4H time frame. All right, so that's exhaustion. The question now becomes are we going to see a continuational push, or is this a stop hunt? So let's take a look. All right. Okay, so price could be making its way to its weekly upper. We have daily mid-range area sensitivity. All right, price made a push. It did make contact. We then have a break of previous high. Okay, we are extended from our mean. Okay, we're extended from the uptrend. I believe we'll have consolidation at this point. Before then, we meet again with the uptrend, and then we make move to the upside. I'm going to keep this on the list though. QEN. Take me, break me, everybody save me. No, that wasn't the right pair. Pound yen, yeah. Okay, so monthly time frame, we see prices made its way. This is significant. Okay, so boom. Okay, look at this, right? So we have contact with our monthly zone. Not only our monthly zone, but also our higher time frame downtrend. We have an impulse to the downside, significant reinjection of buy pressure. Okay, now here's my question for you. We're looking to the downside here. So here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at mentally. This does look like a good opportunity for maybe a few pips, right? Because we have a situation where we might get a break, potential double top, or whatever, retest of this downtrend. But we're against the yen here. Yen is classified as a what along with Swiss franc? Okay, it is called a safe haven. Okay, now what does that mean? That means that if the Delta variant, or if other COVID variants, or if there's lockdown, okay, or if there's a slowdown in the economy, the yen will strengthen, which means that if the yen strengthens, the pound will weaken in this case, and we will move to the downside. So in my opinion, am I looking to the upside? No, we're only looking to the downside. So the question becomes is where are we looking to the downside? You don't really care about us. What happened here? Ah, there it is. Okay. All right, so buy pressure will make its way to its trend line. So buy pressure is here right now. It's going to make contact with these lower lows. At that point, we're going to be looking to the downside. I'm not looking to the upside. We may see a break to the upside to its fib, but at some point, we're making our way down to the downside. Here's my thing. There's no way that the pound's going to have enough strength to not only break respected monthly downtrend, but also our monthly zone, which is a significant level of sell pressure. There's no way buy pressure with the yen. There's no way the yen's going to have strength to break this level. There's just no way, not with everything going on fundamentally. So in my opinion, we're only looking to the downside. Okay, pound yen. Okay, last one, which is gold, before we move on to crypto and to some stocks again. All right, in my opinion, another move to the downside. But here's the thing, gold is a safe haven, right? So if shit continues to hit the fan, we're going to see a move to the upside. Okay, higher highs, correct? This is what I'm looking at, higher highs. At this point, either this is double confirmation before price makes a new high, okay? Or this is lower lows where price is going to move to the downside. I have a suspicion it's the latter. However, do we look interested right now? No, not really. Yeah, there's a potential where, yeah, we have a push to the downside. We have sell pressure. Yeah, it could make its way down. However, there is buy sensitivity that's coming in strong. All right, gold, I'm not really interested. All right, let's see if there's any questions before we move on. Hello, hello. Bum, 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 take me. Okay, we did the JG analysis. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Okay. But I'm really saying that you don't really care about us. Okay, DOE crude, negative 4.1 million versus negative 2 million barrels. Negative 3.1 distillate versus negative 0.5. Okay, so what does that mean? Negative 4.1 barrels versus negative 2.2 million barrels. That means there's actually less supply in the market than expected. However, the Canadian dollar is not gaining strength. I don't think the market's really reacting to that due to the variant. Okay. Snapchat is introducing My Places, personal recommendations. Let's check out CAD US. I just want to make sure. Or USD Cad. So as you can see, okay, so why am I looking at USD Cad? So there's 2 less million barrels in inventory than expected. Okay, and when we look at simple supply demand, the less barrels, as long as demand stays the same. If supply drops, price moves to the upside, which means there would be a strength in the Canadian dollar. However, when we take a look at the USD CAD, yes, there's some sell pressure, probably initial reaction to the DOE inventories. However, what we know is that not much of a reaction, because the market's taking into other things into consideration. For example, the fact that there's potential lockdowns, that demand for oil may drop. Okay, so there's not much of a reaction. I usually take it to the USD CAD to take a look if there's a significant reaction on this pair. General Holdings Inc., GNRC CEO experienced continued supply chain pressures during Q2 earnings call, cuts FY21 gross margin by 50 basis points. So GNRC, General Holdings Inc., is expecting a reduction in revenue due to supply chain constraints. Let's take a look at TRU. Okay, TransUnion Corp, TRU. Okay, JP Morgan says that they reiterate that their price target is from 119. So now price is trading at about 118 to 130. Let's see where their 130 mark is. Okay, they expect an extension to 130. You see, take a look, right? This is important, because when price reaches this uptrend here, take a look at the buy sensitivity. That's exactly what you want. You want to buy limit order at these trend lines. Price is now trading above its means, trading above its MACD stochastics for sure, because it's overbought. Question becomes, are we making our way back, or is JP Morgan right that it's going to make its way to the 130 mark before then finding its exhaustion? That I do not know. Okay, to you, all right. For those of you that know, I own 2U, TWOU. Okay, long-term hold. The reason is because I believe that education is moving online. TWOU announces partnership with the University of Miami Business School. This is just another agreement. They have a bunch of different schools. That's just another one to list. I don't think that's going to move the price of the stock too much. Okay, PlayStation again. PlayStation 5 surpasses 10 million units since launch on November 12th. First time globally since first launching on November 12th, 2020. PS5 is the fastest selling console in the company's history and continues to outpace sales of its predecessor, the PS4. Their one of their top games is Marvel Spider-Man. Seems. CMTL 40 million contract renewal. CMTL. Morgan Stanley, Microsoft, they say that their price target, new price target, is at 305. Currently, Microsoft's trading at about 288. Morgan Stanley, we talked about this yesterday, reiterates that Google price target is at 3,000 from 2,575. Okay, let's look at the Morgan Stanley guidelines. Okay, Logitech, Morgan Stanley has it at equal price target, meaning it's extended. It believes it's extended. Lincoln Electric Holdings, price target 142. LECO. Okay, believes it's going to move its way to the upside, 142. I don't like that Morgan Stanley extends its targets when prices are already completion of its push. Okay, it sees like a 10-month uptrend, and then it extends its target. All right, Invesco IVZ. Target 28, it reached 28, and then sell pressure is coming in. Golf, GOLF, Oshnot Holding Group. I think that CO wasn't, that CO probably Golf's heavy. All right, let's take a look at this uptrend. All right, so 52 target, 55, 52 target. Okay, so it's pretty much reached the top of the target range that they're saying. However, there's a possibility it makes its way at least to previous high. Okay, double confirmation, buy pressure. We're finding a little bit tough right now to find some buy pressure. When we take it down to the 1H, there's low volume on this pair. I'm not a big fan of that. GLW. 42 price target, 1H. Boston Science is doing well. Morgan Stanley has a price target on it for up to 53. I like that actually. All right, time to identify sensitivity. Okay. All right, price is a bit extended, as you can see, okay? We may have a situation tap, 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 move to the downside like previous. So we have tap, potential downside before then to move back to the upside, or we get a break and it starts to play within its new range. We're gonna keep an eye on Boston Science. Let's add it to the watch list. tier 1 firm reiterates price target at 505. That's a heavy one. 505, that's pretty significant. Okay, price is clearly trading very away from its mean. Okay, we have price following. I mean, in terms of uptrend, I don't see much. I don't know if a 505 is coming in. I mean, as soon as they announced that, price moved to the downside. Heidelberg Cement AG confirmed share buyback. Managing Board AG has decided to share buyback program with the total amount of up to $1 billion, excluding purchasing costs, which is expected to be completed by September of 2023. The share buyback program is in line with the company's financial policy and should be seen in the context of the successful net debt reduction as well as good business development in the current fiscal year. Okay, now here's the thing with the share buyback programs. You have to be very careful to read between the lines. Now, when you're talking about a company like a not so public company like Heidelberg Cement, okay, who's doing a share buyback program, that's interesting because that means that potentially they see value in their shares right now based on what the future expectations. So they're buying back shares at a discounted rate, right? Now, the thing is sometimes this could be used as a ploy to essentially get customer confidence, even though that is not necessarily what's happening. So, for example, it's important to understand that every publicly traded company has a PR team, okay, that their job is to tell the truth. They have to tell the truth. Not all companies do, but they take the truth, they spin it, and they spit it out in something that's supposed to be more of a positive type sentiment, right? So, for example, Uber is the #1 in this garbage. For those of you that don't know, I do not like the company Uber, and I don't mean like using it. And so I'm talking about as an investor. I do not like them. They lose money on every ride. They have drivers that want more money. Okay, there's competition is doing a better job in my opinion, like Lyft and others around the world. Okay, and Uber is the #1 classic for PR garbage. Okay, why? What does their PR do to keep the stock from collapsing? The PR says, well, we got some artificial intelligence. Our cars are going to be driverless. We're working on this. It's going to be great. And when it comes, it's going to we won't need the drivers. Blah blah blah. Revenue will increase as costs significantly drop. And what do I say to that? Garbage. Absolute garbage. Not even Tesla can fully figure it out yet. And who do you think the top talent is going to? You think they're going to Uber to figure out self-driving? Do you think they're going to Tesla or other companies? Okay. So what are they trying to? They try to smoke screen their earnings, which is always garbage. Okay. So that you have optimism, so that you think, okay, well, I'm going to invest in Uber now because they're coming out with an AI. Bullshit. Yes, they're working on an AI. They're nowhere near close. They're nowhere near where Tesla is, and they won't be. I don't ever think they'll actually succeed with it. Okay. Then you have another good signal is how much the board is vesting. So if you are the CEO of a company like Uber, majority of your salary, majority of your bonuses are in stock options, majority of your value is in the stock. So the CEO, I'm just guessing here, but I bet you the CEO of Uber has like a $1 million base salary, and then bonuses that are in the hundreds of millions of dollars, and stock options that are in the hundreds of thousands or whatnot in shares. Okay, so that they make their money from other ways, not salary. Okay, and they can't just offload all these shares, right? There's something called a vesting schedule. So you're only allowed to sell, for example, an X amount of shares per day as a CEO. Now, the value of those shares depends on what the market tells you, right? And when you're selling your shares, you want your stock to be as high as possible so that the value of that sale is good, right? Now, what do they do? Especially the CEO and board? What do? They talk. They talk garbage. They pump everything up. We're doing this. We're working on that. Our ride numbers are going up. Good. Your ride numbers are going up, which means you're losing more money because you lose money every ride. Okay. And then they'll fill you up with some garbage. And then what's happening in the back end? They're vesting 100% of their allowed shares. Right? So the CEO, the COO, the CTO, the whole team of Google, they're selling their shares at the maximum amount allowed, even if the stock price is down. What does that tell you about the future confidence of that company? Not much. When you look at the board of Amazon, for example, none of them are touching their vesting maximums. None of them. They can sell more shares than they choose to because they believe that the long-term value in their shares will increase. Whereas the board of Uber is telling you to buy when they sell as much as they can. So the way you need to look at the stock market as an investor is every company is lying to you. Who's lying the least? Look through the PR bullshit and what's actually going on in the back end. Okay? As far as Uber goes, if you've ever owned a company that netted $1 single, you've made more money than Uber. Only in today's world can someone start a company that actually doesn't make money and become a billionaire doing it. Okay? Only in today's world does that actually happen. See if there's any questions. Okay. Okay, now we're not going to place, I didn't mention this before, but we're not placing any entries right now in the stock market. And the reason why is because we have to wait for the Fed, okay? We have Powell that's speaking today, okay? The question is this, okay? Is what is Powell going to say? What is Powell going to say? Is he going to come out and is he going to say we're going to continue to buy assets, or are we going to start tapering? Okay, and they have to be very careful here, because let's say that there was no Delta variant that was coming in strong, they would start to announce a tapering because the market would be relatively confident. However, right now, as the market is starting to be a little bit more concerned about the new COVID numbers and the new variants, they have to be careful with how they speak. They can't be too dovish. They have to understand that if they come in and say that we're going to stop buying assets, the market's going to move to the downside, because now you have fear, and then you have the announcement that essentially the Fed's going to stop pumping money, printing money, okay, and it's going to move to the downside. If safe havens will move to the upside. Okay, so we need to be careful of the Fed speaking. All right, and this will affect the yen, the Swiss franc, gold, silver. It will affect the stock market. Okay, so we have to be careful here. If Powell comes out and says anything that's not expected, the market has a sentiment. The market expects a certain thing to be called upon, and if it's that, then the market is pricing that in. However, if it's something that's not expected, we will see a reaction to that. So we have to be careful here with what the Fed says and what Powell says. So we're not going to place any entries at the moment in the stock market because of that. Okay. So team, so for those of you, this is the end of our live session. For those of you that Team FXG, I'm going to film now a complete summary of the watch list and post it for you guys. And we're going to be live every day at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So feel free to join us, join the team. Appreciate your time. I hope everybody has a great day. And we shall see and chat with you soon. Bye. Hmm.